Another one. I really liked it. I really liked Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. This one was really fun. In fact, I think this might be the most fun Godzilla movie that I've seen so far out of the, what is it, like five that I've seen so far? I think this might be the most fun as of, this point. Because this one it really went for just a popcorn fun time. And it succeeded. It succeeded really well. The human characters were great, and I was really invested in their story. The creatures were great. Every one of these monsters that have happened so far show up in this one, right? We have Mothra, we have Rodan, and we have Godzilla, and they all are fighting this guy named King Ghidorah, who destroyed Venus at one point. And yeah, this gets pretty crazy. So the human story, essentially, without getting too spoilery, because I'm gonna have a spoiler section, the non-spoiler version of the human story is that this reporter and cop, who are siblings, they come across this weird woman claiming to be from Venus, but she bears a striking resemblance to a princess that is trying to be assassinated. Well, not trying to be assassinated, but people are trying to assassinate this princess. And basically, she warns everybody that, this King Ghidorah monster who destroyed her home planet of Venus is going to come to Japan and destroy Japan, and it's inferred the world. You know what I mean? I believe Mothra even confirms the world, actually. But regardless, now they have to convince Mothra, Godzilla, and Rodan to fight this Ghidorah guy, and it's really fun. It's really fun. That's just the best way to describe this movie. There's not there's not like a crazy, there's not a social message to this movie in particular. There's not deep themes going on. This is, from what I understand, the Godzilla franchise is going to get pretty Power Rangers-y. And that's what this felt like, at least half of it. Half of it felt pretty Power Rangers-y, and half of it felt kind of James Bond-y in a weird way. And I really dug both, because I said in the Mothra versus Godzilla VLOGZILLA a second ago, the last one of these I did, I said that they're either going to have to focus on the lore of the monsters or the human stories to make these movies interesting. And once again, just like Mothra vs. Godzilla, they just honed in on both in this one, and it was great. They seem to know what they're doing at this point, right? I think Rodan, misstep. I think Raids again, misstep. Kong vs. Godzilla, step in the right direction. And then Mothra vs. Godzilla, they got it. And this one, they got it once again. This is just such a fun flick, You get to see the monster action. You get to see the, being chased by assassins. You got to protect the target, video game, escort mission type scenes. You just get everything that you want, and you get more of the lore with Mothra, which I'm always a fan of. Ever since that last movie, I am just totally on board the Mothra train. Mothra is my favorite of these monsters. Even Rodan didn't really annoy me that much. I hated the Rodan movie, but Rodan wasn't my problem with the Rodan movie. So seeing Rodan come back was pretty cool. And, let's just get into spoilers. Yeah, so the fight between Godzilla and Rodan, before Mothra gets involved, actually even once Mothra gets involved, is hilarious. And if you don't chuckle, then then I don't know, man. It's a funny scene. They're literally just like wrestling each other and like picking each other up, and like these two monsters are just going at each other, but it's clearly like just for fun, because when Mothra comes up to him and is like, "Guys, we gotta fight Ghidorah," Godzilla, which is this is the first time Godzilla has talked, or at least been translated, because Mothra's little fairies talk and translate what Godzilla's saying in this part. And Godzilla's like, ah, man, we don't wanna help the humans. The humans bully us. I thought that was funny. Um, the idea of the monsters feel like they're bullied, but that also brings like a unique little element to it, because are these monsters just fighting for fun? Because that seems to be what it was when Mothra stops them from like wrestling each other in the middle of this. In the middle of Japan here, both the Godzilla and Rodan, they do stop their fighting, and they listen to Mothra, and they have a little chat about it, and it seems like they're just having a jovial little little brawl, like between friends there. They didn't seem to have much ill will toward each other, yeah, at least in the little translations. So, and the fact that they all team up at the end and stuff. So that was interesting. I was not expecting that. Maybe I'm interpreting that wrong, but to me it just seems like the monsters, they're all kind of chill with each other. They just fight for fun. In this one at least, Godzilla and Rodan do, and yeah, there's a body count in this movie. People die. That was a bit unexpected, because I don't really think people died at least not on screen in the other movies, except for the 54. So that was interesting. Maybe I'm forgetting, but it didn't seem like people died in the other ones. But yeah, people die, and yeah, the characters were really likable. I don't know how else to say it. I actually really want the Venus princess to come back. I would really love for her to come back in the next one, or in one of these, and even the siblings. I think the siblings could come back, and they'd be pretty interesting. Uh, I'm still holding out hope somehow that like the couple from the original Godzilla is gonna come back in some way, like that game show or whatever, not game show, like reality TV show or whatever. It was like the Where Are They Now in the beginning of this movie. I was kind of hoping that they would be on there, but and once again, don't spoil in the comments if they do come back. But I do want to see what that couple's up to, because they were, they were endearing. They were a cute couple, but but I did like that they were the little boys who were like, oh, I want to see Mothra. Like, that's so cute. Little boys, like, they're inspired by like the good monster, and they're like, I like Mothra, and like Japan likes Mothra too. Japan gets pretty hyped when it's when Mothra comes out and is like, yeah, I'm gonna fight. Japan gets pretty hyped about it. So Japan likes Mothra, and I think that's really cute. That's an element of these movies I didn't expect. Was, I don't know if it's nuance would be the word, but just the fact that the monsters are different from each other is something I really didn't expect when I started this series. I didn't expect like the reception of the monsters to be different, kind of thing. Like, people freak out about Godzilla, but when they don't freak out about Mothra, they think Mothra is dope, right? they're really on board the Mothra hype train, just like I am. And I think that's pretty cool. I like that these monsters are getting different reactions from the public, and it seems to me like the public is actually accepting Godzilla a little bit more, just because they've dealt with him more. It seems, you know what I mean? Like, they don't really question it when Godzilla turns good to protect them at the end of this. They don't really question it, and I do think that's because they've had Godzilla attack quite a few times now, and they're like, all right, we know how this thing operates, right? Just don't get in its way. Just keep running, and you won't get killed by Godzilla. Just don't get in his way. And so I think that's pretty cool. And yeah, just this movie's just very charming. It's even more charming than Mothra versus Godzilla, actually. Yeah, I'm really, really liking it so far. Ever since Mothra versus Godzilla, then this one, I'm really into these. I hope it continues this charming, this charm. I hope that it just continues being charming and fun, and giving me characters to root for. I hope that continues, because yeah, this series is really fun. With these two past movies. So that was Ghidorah. I really liked it.